right, I think I'm recording, not entirely sure. This is brand new to me. I am here at the farm store. It is Wednesday morning, 9:46 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so the store's been open for about a week and a half now, and it started off really great. The first day was incredible. We made more than we have on any other farmer's market kind of day. Um, so that's awesome that we were able to do so well opening day. The next 2 days that we were open, we did okay. Did about as well as we did this past Saturday at the farmer's market, which was a pretty crummy market. It was the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so it's always going to be, it's always a slow week for food sales right after Thanksgiving. I mean, retail obviously is really busy. We do have lots of gifts like soaps and books, and we have gift cards, some other things like that that would make pretty good gifts. But most of the time when people go to a farmer's market or a farm store, farm stand, they're looking for something to eat, and yeah, so not super busy at the farmer's market. But anyway, yeah, so the first day at the farm store was incredible. The next two are fair. Fourth day, we had one customer, so they bought one item. Better than nothing. Next couple days were okay. Yesterday we were open and had one customer. It was a bigger purchase than our last one customer day. But yeah, so the store's open right now. So if I suddenly get up, it's because we have a customer. Based on what has happened the last few days we've been open, I'm not really sure if we're going to get customers or not. We haven't had a day without a customer, at least one customer. We've had two one-day customer, two one-customer days. Sorry. And I hope that we don't have any zero customer days. So, yeah, store's open. It's still a bit of a mess in this back area. Boxes, we have some Christmas decorations that we've put up, some stuff that we're probably not going to put up that we need to find another place for to kind of clear this area. I still have a bunch of tools and stuff in here from when I've been working on it. I just installed some shop lights. So we have two lights in here that are pretty bright, and I actually just installed two of the exact same out in the shopping area of the store, so that when we're open at night when it's dark, it's a little bit easier for people to see, because we have some string lights that are up right now that are not super bright. But yeah, so we have lots of sourdough that Ashley spent a lot of time preparing and baking and packaging, and we sold one loaf yesterday. We brought a loaf in to have with dinner last night. I had made some turkey stock with our Thanksgiving turkey. So while I was working the farm store, Ashley put together some turkey noodle soup that was very tasty. And we had some sourdough to go with that. So we didn't bake a whole lot, knowing that we're probably not going to be super busy yesterday and today. That's like the most depressing thing when you're baking stuff, is when you bake a bunch of stuff and then you don't sell it, because when you don't use preservatives, the shelf life is pretty short. We decided to do one. So usually a batch of sourdough is 4 loaves. So we did a batch of our regular sourdough, traditional sourdough loaf, and then we did 4 loaves of our sourdough sandwich bread, which is a little bit lighter. We baked that in a Pullman loaf pan, so it's makes square slices. So it is a better sandwich bread, although the regular sourdough loaves make great sandwiches as well. Um, so yeah, we whatever we don't sell today, I guess we're gonna eat ourselves. We had put a thing out on Facebook and Instagram trying to find a local like nonprofit or organization that helps collect and donate food to those in need. We wanted to create a partnership so that Wednesday afternoons and Sunday afternoons they could come and pick up whatever we have left over and give it to those in need. We didn't. We've had a couple individuals reach out to us that are like, "Oh yeah, we'll drop it off," but they also kind of hinted that they would take what they want, and then whatever they don't want, they would take to a place to donate the rest of the stuff. And we weren't really into that. We wanted it to be kind of fair. Like if we have, 6 loaves of sourdough, we would like it to go to 6 different families, and not all one family, and not the same families every week. We feel that it would be better if it was divided a little more evenly, more fairly, than one family getting the bulk of the stuff. So we had a couple people reach out, and one group said that they have a big food pantry at their church, and they are open 7 days a week, and they feed lots and lots of families in the community, and they said that they would like to come and pick up stuff, and they haven't yet. So we've been doing some creative things with our leftovers. We took some of our leftover sourdough loaves and cut the crusts off and cut them into cubes, drizzled them with olive oil, and put some of our all-purpose seasoning on there. Let's see if I have one of those. Hang on one second. I have some out on display. I'm not gonna grab that right now, but anyway, so cubes of sourdough, olive oil, all-purpose seasoning, and then we dehydrated it and turned it into croutons. And we taste tested them for dinner that night, had a salad, and they were pretty tasty. All the crusts that we cut off, we put into a food processor and turned into breadcrumbs. So we have croutons and breadcrumbs for sale at the farm store, and those, because they're dry, they will not mold or go bad, because essentially they're made out of stale bread. Those are both products that were created hundreds or thousands of years ago, because when you bake bread and you don't eat all of it, you need to do something with it, because food is scarce, or was scarce in certain times and areas, still is in certain areas now. Even within our community, there's a lot of people who go hungry. But yeah, so looks like we're going to be making some more croutons and breadcrumbs with the 6 loaves we have left over. We're open for another 2 hours and 6 minutes, so anything's possible. So yesterday, our one and only customer came right as we opened, like right at 4 p.m., which is cool. Last Wednesday was our other one customer day. Day before Thanksgiving, we were not expecting to be super busy. We had one customer that day, and they showed up like 5 minutes before we closed. So I'm not really sure what to expect today. It's hard to have expectations when you don't have a sales history to really go off of, especially when you open the week of a major holiday. Things are always going to be a little different than the norm. We are not in an area where we're going to get a lot of traffic. We have some neighbors live past us. In fact, one of them is driving past right now. But we are not off a main road. We're off a dirt road. So we're not going to get impulse customers who are driving by and be like, oh, look, there's a farm stand. Let's go check it out. But we do have an okay social media following in our local area. I think we're at like almost 3,200 Facebook followers that are mostly within our community. So I'd say probably close to 3,000 people within driving distance who see our posts and know that we're here. So hopefully I posted this morning, like right before I opened the store, took some pictures of the sourdough and the cookies and the jams and the meats. I think I posted like 3 of the different types of sausages we have. Um, so we have like a mild and a hot breakfast sausage. We have Italian sausage. We have just plain ground pork. We have bratwurst. We have smoked kielbasa. Those are sausage options we carry here at the store. All the pigs that go into those sausages are born and raised here on the farm. And we also have lots of roasts in there. We have some Boston butts, some boneless loin roasts. We have some pork steaks. We have liver. That's surprisingly been a more popular item recently. Let's see, what else do we have? We have tongue. We have tenderloin. We have ribs. Yeah, so some really great cuts of meat in the freezer. We have some microgreens left. We have sourdough pizza dough that's in the freezer, so you can get that and thaw it out in the fridge overnight. Put it on the counter for about an hour or 2 before you decide to start making the pizza. Just let the dough relax a little bit, so when you stretch it, it doesn't kind of go back to its original shape. I think we still have like 4 of those left in the freezer. We have sourdough starter, live active sourdough starter, so people who want to make their own sourdough, they can come and pick that up. We have several copies of our book for sale here at the farm store. We have the paperback and hardcover. You can go to our website and purchase those as well if you're not in the area and want us to ship them. We also have a digital version. We have an ebook that you can download on our website. So we have some pigskin pet treats. We have a lot of soaps. We have shampoo bars. We have some beard products. We have some body butter. Let's see, what else do we have out there? We have granola and cookies. The granola is pretty tasty. We call it good for your gut granola. It's made with sprouted oats and sprouted pumpkin seeds, as well as some sourdough starter. So you get some really good prebiotic and probiotic in there, so that help with your gut biome. We really like it on yogurt with some berries, or just as a snack as is. It's got a really good crunch to it. Pretty tasty stuff. It is not gluten-free because it has sourdough starter in it, but there are people who are just gluten sensitive rather than have a true gluten allergy. So if you can eat sourdough without it bothering your stomach, then our granola will be just fine, because the only gluten is in the sourdough starter. We have a few cookies left. We have some oatmeal raisin and some oatmeal chocolate chip, both pretty tasty. We actually had some last night after dinner. We have lots of jellies and jams. We have some apple jelly. We have some blueberry pomegranate jam. We have peach jam. We have a habanero and peach jam, habanero and pineapple jam. We have 1 jar left of our spiced cranberry sauce. A couple people asked how spicy it was, and it's got spices, not chilies, so it's not spicy. It's got like cinnamon and cardamom and coriander, some spices. Let's see, what else do we have out there. Oh, we still have a couple jars left of our cowboy candy, a smoked cowboy candy. A lot of people are not familiar with cowboy candy, but it is a candied sliced jalapeno. We smoke ours first because why not? It's delicious. So they're like little rings of candied jalapeno. They're smoky, they're spicy, they're sweet, they're tangy because we do put apple cider vinegar in there. Salted. We really like them on burgers. They're good on grilled cheese, pulled pork sandwiches, pretty tasty. The syrup that's in the jar with them, you don't want to discard that. It's really good drizzled on like fried chicken, cornbread. It's kind of got like hot honey vibes. So anywhere you would use a hot honey, the syrup from the cowboy candy is a really good replacement because you get that sweet, spicy. Let's see, what else do we have over there? We have our all-purpose seasoning that I mentioned earlier. We also have our smoked salt, and we have our habanero salt. And anything that we have over there that is made with peppers, we actually grew them here on the farm. So so that's pretty cool. It's one of our unique selling points at the farm store. Is not only is it full of farm fresh goods, but the products that we sell here are produced right here on the farm. So you could be buying some eggs from us and hear the rooster, who's just 100 or 2 feet over there growing, buy sausage from us, and you might hear the pigs fighting back behind the house in the woods. You can hear the cows. We don't have beef yet. We will have beef in spring. Late spring, early summer is when we will be processing our first steer. We're doing grass-fed, grass-finished, no hormones, no vaccines, no antibiotics. And yeah, nothing here on our farm is ever fed anything GMO, no soy, no corn. That's another thing that sets us apart from most of the competition, because corn and soy are in everything because they're cheap and they are full of calories and they make things get really fat really fast. But the problem with that is they're also loaded with omega-6 fatty acids. We've talked about those a lot on the channel. Omega-6 fatty acids, when your diet is high in those and low in omega-3s, you end up with risk for like cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, high blood pressure, some kinds of cancers, autoimmune disorders, obesity. It actually affects how your body stores and utilizes fat as energy. So countries that eat lots of soy, like Japan, they also have lots of fatty fish in their diet, so their omega-3 and omega-6 balance is in check. Whereas here in America, we don't eat a lot of fatty fish, and we eat lots and lots of processed foods that are full of seed oils that contain omega-6 fatty acids. So, inflammation, that's another thing that omega-6s will cause. So yeah, pretty much like everything wrong with the health of the average American is due to a diet high in omega-6 fatty acids. I mean, people want to blame the processed foods, the fast foods, which yes, that is true, because Americans eat so many processed foods and a lot of fast food. They end up consuming lots of omega-6 fatty acids, which causes all these health problems. But that's why you should come here to the Riggin Farm store, because we do not use any of those things in our products. We don't use them when feeding our animals. So you are what you eat and what they ate. I was really hoping that by doing a live stream, I would kind of set myself up for failure, because we would have so many customers here at the store that I wouldn't be able to really participate much in the live stream. But that is clearly not happening. Oh well. Let's see. So this is the first time I have used this streaming thing. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, if I'm messing stuff up. I know there's supposed to be like a chat in here somewhere. Not really seeing that. So if people are chatting and leaving comments and I'm not responding to them, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find those elsewhere, maybe in the YouTube area. Oh, there we go. I still have YouTube open, so there is a chat there. Nobody has commented. That's okay. I will leave that open, set this off to the side so I can see any chats coming in. I do have somebody watching right now, so thank you, person, for watching. I really appreciate that. It has been pretty boring working the farm store lately, because we don't have a lot of customers. Something I realized pretty quickly when we started the farm and started doing farmers markets is the catch-22 of the farm when you're a direct-to-consumer farmer, which we are. We do very little wholesaling. We have partnered with a local restaurant that carries some of our products in some of their like seasonal dishes. Um, very small orders, like, $100, $150 orders. So it's like for a restaurant, that's hardly anything. So anyway, the catch-22 of being a direct-to-consumer farmer is you need to work to produce products, and you have to not do that work in order to set up at a farmer's market or sit at a farm store or a farm stand and sell the products. So you can, so I am currently not working in the garden. We have some beds in the high tunnel that need a little amending. We took all of our tomato and pepper plants out of the high tunnel last week. I need to go in there and put in some compost and a little bit of bone meal and blood meal just to help supplement, bring up the nutrient levels in the soil so that we can transplant our lettuce. We have probably like 500-ish lettuce plants that are ready to go into the high tunnel right now, and then we have another 500-ish that'll be ready to go in another couple weeks. We also have to sow some spinach and arugula seeds. But yeah, I can't help Ashley with any of that while I'm here at the store. And it kind of stinks because she would be able to be a lot more productive in the garden with my help, but sitting here at the farm store, can't do that. And not selling anything here at the farm store, which is another reason I decided to do this live stream from the farm store right now, is because I figured I would do something somewhat productive. We haven't been doing a lot of or any long format videos on our channel in a really long time. My laptop is not the best for video editing. It's just a little bit slower, and then also the hard drive's a lot smaller. So I do have an iMac that I typically do all of our editing on, so I'm probably going to bring that up here sometime one of the next days that I'm working the farm store. So I need to dump a bunch of video onto that, and I can start sorting everything into different folders and then start actually producing some more long format videos. So if there are any suggestions of what you would like to see, what kind of videos you want us to work on first, please comment and let us know. We have videos on like the high tunnels and the orchard and animals. Didn't do a whole lot about setting up the store, but I can make a video now that the store's open. We have our wash pack building that's functional, but we still have a lot to do in there. Actually, yesterday I picked up the toilet for our bathroom that we're going to be putting in there. So we'll have a bathroom with a toilet and a hand sink and vanity, and so I need to work on that. I don't know if I'll get to it this week. Maybe get started on it this week, if not this weekend or next week, because we're going to be hosting a bunch of classes in that building, and we want to make sure that we have a restroom available for attendees, because it's a bit of a walk to the house, and also we'd rather not have people go into our house that we don't know. No offense to anybody out there. So yeah, having like a restroom available for people who are taking our classes would be nice to have. So yeah, also we're gonna put walls up. So if you do decide to come take one of our classes, the toilet's not just gonna be there for everybody to watch you. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. Didn't want to create any confusion there. We are going to put some walls and a door up so that you can have some privacy while using the restroom in our wash pack building while taking a class. So we actually have 20 classes scheduled right now. We still have seats available, so anybody who is local to the North Georgia area who's interested in taking some farm/homesteading classes, you can go to our website, rigginfarm.com. You can go to rigginfarm.com/events to go see all the classes, or just click on the classes tab on the homepage. But we're offering 2 different sourdough classes. We're doing a beginning sourdough class, or beginner's sourdough class. So that's for people who have either never made sourdough bread or have attempted and have not been successful or consistent, and they would like to just get the basics down before they move on to anything more advanced. And then we also have an advanced sourdough techniques class where we talk about things that, once you kind of mastered the basics, this would be a great class. We're going to talk about different enriched doughs, different things you can do with your sourdough. So we'll talk about focaccia and like brioche and some different things you can do with discard. Just things that are a little bit more advanced in the beginning, someone in the beginning stages. We're also going to have 2 different canning classes. We're going to have a canning 101, which is water bath canning. So that's going to be the most simple and common type of canning. That's what you do for like jams and jellies primarily. A few other things. But then our canning 201 class is pressure canning. So you need to pressure can things like green beans and corn, meat. They just require that extra high pressure environment in order to be properly sterilized for long storage on the shelf rather than in the fridge or freezer. We are also going to have several gardening classes. We're going to have our first one is called prepping the garden in winter. So to set yourself up for a successful spring, summer, and fall harvest. We also have a seed starting class where we're going to talk about starting seeds indoors in trays, sometimes under grow lights or with heat mats. What types of seeds are best to start indoors versus what are best to sow directly in the ground outside. So that's a really good one. We also include some supplies so you'll actually get some seeds. And we have some little compostable seed cups, like little seed pots that are cool because you can start them indoors, and then when it warms up, you can actually bury the whole thing in the ground, and it just ends up adding more organic matter into your soil, and the roots are able to get through it and everything. They're pretty cool. We also have upgrades where you can get an actual seed starting kit that has, I think we have like a 36 cell kit that has a humidity dome, so it helps a lot with germination, increase your germination percentages drastically with that kit. We also have a class called Growing Veggies in North Georgia. So every part of the world is going to be great or bad at growing certain things. Oh, we have a customer. I'm going to let the stream continue, and I will help this customer so you get to see that in action. Good morning. The sun's definitely helping warm it up a bit. That's the last one.
Really? Wow.
I don't think you're going to have to fight any other customers right now, so you're in pretty good shape. there's anything in particular in there you're looking for, I can help you find it. Unless they just don't have it, and then that'll let them.
So this is called pork, right?
Correct. Yeah, we'll have some lamb in a few weeks, which and then butcher next week, and then our beef won't be ready until late spring. I think we have about 20 different cuts in here. Yeah, we should have a few in there. See if I can help find them. Hi, everybody. Three or four. See what looks good to you. That's a good thing. I'd be very upset if that freezer didn't keep stuff cold.
Probably done. Yeah, that should.
What method would you like to use?
I'm trying then.
Okay.
Alright, so it's Nick, Riggin, no S.
Correct.
Okay.
Everybody always wants to put an S on our last name, but there is not one.
So have people been finding you out here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luckily, GPS is pretty good about bringing people right here.
Alright, the last four digits of your passport.
1650. Sounds like I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, you must be Lisa.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you're
You can't
aware.
do that in a
Oops. Right now, Pickens County is doing. Let's see. Why is my receipt? They're doing a promotion right now where if you turn in a receipt of $25 or more from a business in Pickens County, you
Mhm.
email it to info@pickenschamber.com, and you get entered into a drawing for one of 3 $100 Visa gift cards.
Oh, okay.
So for some reason the printer doesn't want you to print me a receipt. It has receipt in front of me. Okay, let me give me a second to try to figure out what the heck's going on. email it to you.
That's fine, don't worry about it.
And do you want the receipt?
Yeah, if you can.
Yeah, I can,
Okay.
I can email it to you. Just pull it through. What's your email address?
LISAGO Parker at outlook.com.
Lisa Joe Parker at outlook.com. Excellent. There you go.
Are you gonna do the Georgia Farm Bureau passport deal?
I don't know anything about that.
Really? It's from the Georgia Farm Bureau, and it's a passport booklet of all the farms in Georgia, or a lot of the farms in Georgia, let's say that way. Yeah, that participate, and so that drives people in to get it stamped.
Oh.
And then you get so many stamps on the visit at the end of the year, you turn it in, maybe like a t-shirt, or there's a farm dinner and different stuff.
Oh, cool.
But some people are like,
It's a club.
serious about it, like they'll visit 100 farms a year,
Oh, wow.
kind of a thing.
I
So,
will certainly look into that in just a moment.
And
Yeah.
by the way, that's how we found you.
Oh.
We followed several farms. We live down in Marietta. So when we made a couple Facebook posts, you popped up as a new farm. So that's how we found you. So it's gone free
but
advertising.
it would drive a lot of people through
Oh, wow.
your place.
Literally, they do tours in the area, so.
And this is good because people will come up and you can hit so many of the apple farms.
Mhm.
So like in one day, people will get like 10 stamps
Oh,
at a
wow.
time. So you just wanna, I don't know what, it probably requires you to be a member of Georgia Farm Bureau, which I think is like $25 a year or something
Oh,
like
wow,
that.
yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
not bad.
yeah, but you should look at it. It's,
Yeah, I will.
it's interesting.
Thank you so
It's fun
much.
for us. All right,
Yeah, I really
thanks.
appreciate you. I see it. You're wearing my jacket.
We weren't.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, let's see. Make sure we don't have too many because we need to see the safety strings.
Oh. Got some tomatoes.
See that? I'm doing a live stream right now. It's because I was bored. I figured I would do that. Now it works. Just the USB cable was just loose or something. Let's see. Hey, 2 of you are watching. Thanks. Appreciate that. Tarvis Wingspoon. That's true. No one has chatted except for you. Thank you. You're usually the first and only person to comment on our live streams. Appreciate you as always. Thanks, bud. Ashley just came up to bring me a coffee refill because she's the best. And she also brought up some of our tomatoes that we still have. They might have bought some had they seen them. I know lighting on this camera isn't the best, but yeah, we still have some tomatoes we had harvested from our garden. In December, well, we harvested them in November, but it is currently December. So let's see, what is it? Should? Okay, so we put them down actually. Just so, yeah. Live here at the Riggin Farm Store where it's December and we have farm fresh tomatoes that we harvested from our garden a couple days ago in November, but they're still beautiful, delicious heirloom varieties. I'm not sure if you guys could hear what the customers were just telling us, or telling me, because Ashley hadn't come up here yet. But apparently the Georgia Farm Bureau has a passport that if your farm is on there, I guess you get a stamp when you visit these farms. And then if you get so many stamps and you get like different prizes and stuff, that it brings a lot of traffic out to the farm because people want to get that stamp, or people are completionists and they want to visit every farm in the state of Georgia. So apparently that's how they found us. They said that we were on their list of local farms, and they actually drove up here from Marietta. So that's like, depending on exactly where in Marietta they are, that's like probably close to an hour drive that they came up here. And it was awesome. They spent over $100, which is incredible. Actually made it worthwhile to open up today. Paid for the ingredients that went into that bread. So they bought a loaf of our sourdough sandwich bread. They bought the last of our cranberry sauce. They bought a blueberry pomegranate jam. They bought a boneless loin roast, a tenderloin, a bag of cookies, and what else did they get? I feel like they got something else. Oh, you know what? I can look up the sales history and see exactly what they ordered. That was it. I remembered everything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, any questions about the farm while you have my attention? There are 4 of you watching. Go ahead, if you're on a phone or computer, type those in. If you're watching us on TV, it makes it very on a TV, so I understand. You could always come back to this later, comment in the chat, or just comment on the video, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Or you could call live. Call in live to the Riggin Farm Store, 770-569-3392, and I will answer your call live on the air, if that's what it's called, streaming. I don't know. Just being goofy. Ashley's out here putting out some tomatoes onto the table for us. She's actually doing actual work, like I mentioned earlier. She does the actual work while I just sit and do nothing most of the time. Play with technology that has little to do with farming.
It's not always good.
That's true. It's not always true. I definitely do my fair share of work. I feed the animals like 99.99% of the time. I do.
But I feed them when you're sick.
She has fed them when I've been very sick. So like maybe 3 times since we've been on the farm. She collects eggs sometimes when I'm not here. I send the kids to do that a lot when we're busy. I do the majority of the tractor work, which isn't a whole lot of work. We use it when we're scooping large loads of soil or mulch that we've gotten delivered. I have been using it to take feed down to the pigs lately, because we're feeding them 200 pounds of feed a day right now. And farming has taught me how old I am, based on how my back feels after I do things. So I would rather use the fuel and put hours on the tractor than destroy my back that I only have one of. So rather than carrying 50-pound bags one at a time from our shipping container down to the pig woods, I load them up into the bucket of the tractor, drive it right up to the fence, and feed them that way. So I'm still lifting the bags of feed, but I'm not having to carry them nearly as far as I used to. We were doing a cart as well, but there's some hills, and when you have 200 pounds of feed in a cart and you're going downhill, it can be pretty sketchy. It's a funny word, sketchy. So Ashley's gonna go work. Bye, I love you. Something I saw yesterday that I thought was really funny. Something I would never buy, but there was a gift idea that had this like generational slang. It was like a generational slang wheel. So it would have like a word, and then it would show like what the Gen X slang, the Boomer slang, the Gen X slang, the Millennial slang, and the Gen Z slang. And the example they showed was Boomers say fishy, Gen X says sketchy, Millennials say shady, and Gen Z says sus. So I said sketchy, so that must make me Gen X, even though I'm a Zennial, Xennial, like I'm on that Gen X millennial cusp, born in '82. So I feel like I identify more with the Gen X than the millennial, but I definitely, have some millennial tendencies, I suppose. Let me unplug for a second. I'll walk you around the farm store. It's harder to do this with a laptop than a phone, but that's cool. Let's see. Sun is blinding me. So, this is what our store looks like. It's technically a farm stand because it's open air and not enclosed. We couldn't get the licensing to open up a store because we're on an agricultural property and not a commercially zoned property. A lot less regulation doing it this way than lots of other stuff. So regulation is lame. It prevents us from making lots of money. Or some money. Anyway, so yeah, check it out. Ashley put the tomatoes out. Got a few blank spaces for the jellies now. That's okay. We have more of these. I'll fill it up later. So we got some tomatoes, some jellies and jams, cookies, breadcrumbs, more bread, croutons. Here are the croutons I was talking about earlier in the stream. Our granola, which is pretty dang tasty. Here's our freezer. We got lots of different stuff separated out. Let me pull something out and show you something that's pretty cool. So we got this labeling system that we've been putting on all of our jams and jellies and stuff. And we also are able to print barcodes. So I'm able to, it connects to a digital scale, and I'm able to put barcodes with on there. So I put in the price per pound, and then it weighs it in pounds, prints a barcode with a price on it, that then connects to our POS system so that we're able to just scan the items. I'll show you our POS system. Let's see. I'm not sure how easy it is going to be to see, but you can scan things with the scanner, or you can go to like different categories like pastured meat, and then scroll through to the different cuts. So like baby back ribs, and then here are like the different weight options that we have. So you click on that and add it to the cart. So yeah, it's a lot easier to just scan it with a barcode. It's more work to set up the barcodes, but that's stuff we can do when customers aren't here, and it's better to not take up more of the customer's time unnecessarily. We also have some shirts. Now, the shirts, you can buy those online and have them shipped. We also have some insulated, reusable grocery bags that are really good when you buy perishable things and have a long car ride home. I wish they would have bought one because it would have been really good for the meat that they bought. So it's a humble little store, but it's what it is. We will have more products, especially in summer when like the produce is going crazy. We'll have bigger displays. We're actually Ashley's dad has been building some displays for us that are a little excessive for what we have right now. But we have like lots of bins. So like we put in 88 fruit trees at the beginning of the year. So we'll be able to have bins full of like apples and peaches and cherries and other stuff, other fruit that we planted once we actually have them in a couple years. But then, we'll also have displays for like all most of the refrigerated stuff, like the lettuce and herbs and things like that. We're probably going to keep in the fridge just because they'll last so much longer than sitting out at room temperature. But things like cucumbers and tomatoes and peppers, squash, like a lot of those things, onions, they're fine sitting out at room temperature, so we don't have to worry about keeping those in the fridge. But anyway, I'm probably going to go ahead and end this because I've been on for like, I don't know, close to an hour and a half, something like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate you seeing kind of the behind the scenes of our farm store. Today has already proven to not be our worst day. It's so far our 4th worst day open, but we have an hour and a half until we close. Anything's possible. It's not going to be our best selling day. Seriously doubt it's going to be our best selling day. I mean, I guess if someone came and bought a lot of meat, it would. It's entirely possible because we probably have about a pig and a half worth of pork in that freezer over there. So it's entirely possible we could end up doing our best day ever. Not likely. It's plausible that we can have our second best day ever at the farm store today if we have a couple more customers who are awesome like the one we had just now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Hit the notification bell so when we do go live, you'll be notified and you can walk around the farm with us and see what's going on. And hopefully, now that I have the desk installed, but this is sitting on a desk, by the way. Now that I have a desk in here, I'll be able to bring the desktop and actually do some long-form video editing. So leave comments, let us know what kind of videos you'd like to see. If you want to know more about the agricultural side of things, the business side of things, if you just want me to show you cute animals or play in the dirt. I mean, this channel's for you guys. So tell me what you want to see. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.